Hello chess family, it's me, National Master Jesse James, and today we're going to be taking a look at the top 10 middle game rules. Alright, these ones have helped me out even as a master. Let's go and take a look at them. First one we're going to be going over is have all your moves fit into a definite plan. And this one, well, you can see that Morphe playing with the white pieces, all these rules are based off of him, is, well, you can see all pieces are nice and developed here, and, well, now you've got to create a plan. One of the easy ways I like to describe how to make plans in your chess game is very simple. You can attack on the queen side, you can attack on the center, or you can attack the king side. Each one has a different plan altogether. And yeah, well, king side attack is one of the easiest ones, and we're going to see Morphe do that himself here in this position. What's the idea? It's very, very simple. All you want to do is bring your pieces over and try to attack the king, and, well, if you win, then you're going to get checkmate, right? But what does it mean to attack on the center or on the queen side? Well, let's go over the queen side first. What does that mean? I mean, well, are you trying to attack the queen? No. In this one, this is why a lot of masters play this, is that we're actually trying to attack pawns, weak pieces. We're really just trying to go over there and control that sector. And from there, well, we can either win the material or maybe head back toward the center and the king side. And this goes along with the plan of control the center. Why do you control the center? Well, after you control the center here, it's easy to pivot either to the queen side or you can go king side attack. So these are the ideas. Either attack on the queen side, attack in the center, or attack on the king side. And it's very simple. Again, move your pieces where you're going to attack. In this game, Morphe decided to do king side attack because he'd love to do king side attack. And here a nice rule is, well, the weak square whenever you're castled is h7. So here he came up with a two-move plan. Simple chess. He came up with queen f4 with the idea of switching the queen over to h4 to attack h7. And here the game just starts complicating. I mean, remember guys, when you come up with these plans, know that, it will never make it past like 2 or 3 moves because your opponent's always going to be coming up with creative or different ideas from you. But here, the standard idea is to attack on the king side. So you're just kind of rolling with the punches. Here, knight h5 got played. Queen to h4. Now you can see that there's ideas about still attacking, and this knight's in the way. All right, guys, let's go on to the next one, which is rule number 12, or 2 for the middle game. And here the idea is very simple. Here, trade as many pieces as possible when you're up in material, especially the queens. In this game, Morphe went ahead and played bishop to b5 check, attacking the king. And here, black makes the mistake and plays pawn c6. What do you do now? We start making trades. Here we go. Pawn takes, bishop check, knight, knight takes, queen takes check. Here Morphe's just up an extra pawn, and here we played king to e7 here, trying to allow the rook to come over. And here, what do? Well, before we do try to start making trades here, we need to make sure our king is safe, and we're going to go ahead and start making trades after that. But here Morphe went ahead and played knight c3, rook to c8, queen back to f3. Notice there is a check here on b7, but the only thing you're doing is allowing them to attack you back. Rook e8, castles, king to f8, finishing up the development over here with bishop to d2, and later on he's able to trade the rest of his pieces and just play a nice standard game here. So remember, after you win a pawn, go ahead and start making even trades to get to a winning endgame, which is going to be the last part of this series, which is the top 10 endgame rules. All right, here we go. Number 3 or 13. Here we're going to learn about the different types of weak pawns here. What are weak pawns? Well, there are 3 different types of weak pawns here. And with this one move, Morphe is going to create all 3 of them. What do you play? Here, Morphe played the amazing move of pawn to d6. And, well, black went ahead and took and gave himself the 3 different types of pawn weaknesses. What are they? Well, avoid double, isolated, and backwards pawns. Well, the first one is, well, let's look at these double pawns. What are double pawns? These pawns are stacked up on each other, and they're hard to defend. And, well, you can see here there's no pawn next to them, so it's even harder for them to be defended. Let's go on to the next one, isolated. What does isolated mean? An isolated pawn is a pawn that has no pawn next to them. As I just mentioned, well, there's no way to defend these pawns easily. And because they're doubled up, they're not going to be doing that anytime soon. So isolated pawns have no pawns next to them and have to be constantly defended by the big pieces. Big pieces don't want to do this because they have better things to do, like trying to attack their opponent's king. The last one is a backwards pawn. What's a backwards pawn? Very simple. A backwards pawn is a pawn that can't be moved forward without being captured. It's backwards. It can't move forward without being captured. Okay. Here the game continued with bishop to f4, attacking the weak d6 pawn. Bishop c7, knight c3, pawn a6, bishop c4, b5, bishop b3, and bishop to b7. Here Morphe had a huge advantage because of these weak pawns and went on to win the game. Remember guys, if you are enjoying this one, I have the full games inside the link below, which is going to be going over each individual rule in more depth. But this is just a speed series to help you understand what the top 10 middle game rules are. Let's go on to the next one. Don't expose your king while the enemy queen is on the board. Here we see a very beautiful middle game right here. You can see the Morphe's again got these beautiful bishops and queen headed over toward the king side. The rooks are looking good. Asleep, asleep. This is a very common theme in the Morphe games. And here Morphe found this beautiful move. If you want to push pause, see if you can find this move. All right, here you go. Do not expose your king while the enemy queen's on the board. Here Morphe found the beautiful move of rook to e8. What's this move do? Well, if you don't take, you're just losing. Queen takes on e8, and this is the move you really had to find. Queen takes on f6 here. Remember, do not expose your king while the enemy queen's still on the board. The king is very vulnerable, and this queen will smash through. Somebody might be asking, g takes f6. What happens? Here, just bishop takes f6, check and mate here. This is not how the game finished, but I will leave you to go ahead and check that out in the full video for this one. Just remember, do not expose your king while the enemy queen is still on the board. She's definitely a strong piece, and she will checkmate your king. All right, on to the next one. All combinations are based on a double attack. As we learned in our tactics, a fork is a very strong move in chess, meaning, well, you get to attack two pieces at one time, and in chess, you only make one move at a time, so that's really hard to defend two things at one time. Here we're going to see Morphe playing as the black pieces do a very nice double attack here. Rook a d8 got played. Again, we see that white's pieces are like all in the back ring, just being attacked. Here, developing with the threat. Rook a to d8 attacking the queen. Queen c2, and here, knight c to d4. Queen e4, an undefended queen here. And again, if you want to, feel free to push pause. Here, Morphe makes a nice double attack here. All right, hopefully push pause. Hopefully you see this one. Here, Morphe plays the beautiful knight to g3 here, and here, white is forced to resign, unless they want to get checkmated or lose the queen. Wait a second, can't we just take the knight? Any way that you would take the knight, you would lose your queen, right? So if the pawn takes, bishop takes, pawn takes, the queen just takes queen, and well, white's just lost here, right? Can't we just trade the queens real quick with queen takes? You could, but here again, you will lose the game. Here to a nice checkmate. Here you see the rook, the knight is covering h1 square, so we just need to control g1. Hopefully you see it. Knight d to e2 for a beautiful checkmate with these knights. So remember, whenever you're trying to attack your opponent, look for double attacks. All combinations are based on these. All right, on rule to number 17. When your opponent has one or more weaknesses or pieces unprotected, look for the double attack. And here we have the exact same thing. Here, we're going to make a double attack because, well, black is very weak in this position. Again, if you want to push pause, see if you can find the winning move in this position. Or hopefully push pause, hope you want to figure it out. Here, it looks like an ominous position or just a very, clear and equal position here. But here, Morphe plays the beautiful move of queen d2 for a double attack. Here, he is threatening queen takes on d7. Easy move to see that we're attacking the d7 to win a piece here. But can't the bishop just take? It can, but don't forget that other attack. Remember, when you have two or more pieces unprotected, look for the double attack. Or here, a weak square. Here, we're also threatening rook takes on h6 check. Pawn would have to take back, and queen would go for checkmate. So in the game, black went ahead and played king h7, and Morphe went ahead and took a free piece here. All right, on to the next one. Let's go on. To attack the enemy king, you must first open a file or diagonal to gain access for your heavy pieces. This is a very, very important rule and one that you must know to get to the next level. Here in this game, you can see that Morphe playing the black pieces has done a great job at this. He has the open b file, the open f file here. White does have the open g file to attack the king, but the king's still stuck in the center here. Here, white went ahead and played bishop e3 because white was wanting to castle queenside to get this kingside attack rolling. Well, you need open files and diagonals to attack. Rook b8 got played. Castles queenside here, and again, another beautiful idea here by Morphe. I won't even ask you to figure this one out. Rook takes on f2. I mean, if you don't take back, you're just losing, right? Bishop takes, and here was the move that Morphe had in mind. Queen to a3. Notice that the pawn cannot take, or else bishop takes a3 is just check and mate. Remember, you need open files, up and down, and diagonals to attack your opponent's king. All right, on to the next one. Centralize the action of all your pieces. Here, Morphe has just given away a pawn, and it looks like it for no good reason, right? Like, hey, my king's over here, and what's going on? Well, here, Morphe allowed this because he's going to build up a beautiful center here. Remember, centralize the action of all your pieces. Not just your big pieces, but also your pawns. And here, Morphe found the beautiful idea. G3, attacking the bishop. The bishop took. Queen took. King to d7. Pawn to f4. b6. And pawn to e5. Look at this beautiful center here. Now you can see the knights jumping in. And, well, Morphy went on to win another beautiful game here. Remember, centralize the action of all your pieces, the pawns, and also the big pieces here, too. All right, last one here. The best defense is a counterattack. When they attack you, you attack them back. That is the best way to play against your opponents if you can. In this game, Morphy had just played queen e3. You can see that, well, Morphy's pieces over here are looking at the queen side where the king is close to, and black pieces has all his pieces over here on the king side, definitely looking to make an attack. And that's exactly what black did here. Black went knight to g4 here, and here Morphy found a beautiful combination. Again, when your opponent attacks you, attack them back. Knight takes on b6 check here. Remember, if it ain't checking it right, checks, captures, and threats. Pawn takes. Rook to c7 check here. Anybody was thinking queen takes? Well, queen takes can get played, but, well, black can take the queens off the board with queen takes f2. Again, you are winning in this position, but here, do not let your opponent make these kind of trades. Rook c7 check got played, and the king had to go back to d8. I'll just go ahead and show you what happens if the king does take on c7. King takes on c7. We got checkmate in 3 here. Queen takes b6 check. And either way that you run, it's going to be bad. Well, let's go to d7. I think this looks like a more common move to play. Here, we just get like a rolling rook's checkmate. Queen a7 check. King goes to d8. See, it doesn't matter. Rook to b8 for check and mate. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed this. Remember, if you do want to go over these games in a longer manner, more extensive, and learn deeper about these ideas, please check the link below for the playlist for that. All right, guys, you have a nice day. We'll see you in the next video.